Okay, I think we can start now. All right. Dr. Ala is here. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. Yeah. So I would like to welcome to all students to our weekly seminar. Okay, so now we are in the week 11. My name is Aziatul Niza binti Sadikin. Okay, today we are so lucky to have an expert on MATLAB programming with us. Okay, so I would like to welcome Dr. Nur Alafiza Yunus. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Ala. Dr. Ala.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay,
Yes.
I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our speaker. Okay, so Dr. Alafiza Yunus is a senior lecturer at the Schools of Chemical and Energy Engineering and an associate member of a Process System Engineering Center, UTM. Okay, she received a bachelor and master degree in chemical engineering from UTM and a PhD in chemical engineering from Technical University of Denmark. Okay, her research interest area include chemical product design using computer-aided tools and a model-based approach, chemical property estimations and modeling and optimizations. Dr. Nur Alafiza has 10 years experiences of using the MATLAB. She teach MATLAB programming for undergraduate students since 2015, and she also conducted a series of MATLAB workshop for postgraduate students and researcher. Okay, so the title for today's presentation is MATLAB Coding, a practical guide for engineers. Okay, so without further ado, it's a pleasure to hand over to you, to Dr. Ala.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aziatuniza. First of all, I'm not sure what happened to my video. I turned on the video, but seems that there's no video.
You want to share your slide, Dr. Ala?
Yeah, I will share my slide. But unfortunately, I couldn't turn on the video.
Okay. You cannot turn on your video. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it is press F10.
It's okay, Dr. Ala. It's okay.
The video only or the slide?
The video only.
The video.
The video.
But
it's okay.
The slide is okay, right?
I try to share the slide.
It's okay if we cannot see you, but as long as we can see the slide, it's okay, I think.
Okay. I can see your slide, Dr. Ala.
Okay.
The slide is okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have to turn off my video, okay?
Okay, it's okay.
All right. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank to Dr. Zaki and ITE teams who invite me for this seminar. It stated that from 2 until 3. I hope that I can finish within 1 hour. Besides this slide is also not long. It's actually I just prepared about 11 slides only. Hopefully I can manage to finish on time. Okay, guys. I think some of you familiar with me for the ITE class. IT Introduction to Computer Programming class. So I teach for section 5. Therefore, today Dr. Zaki invite me to give actually more insight on how to use MATLAB coding. But I'm not tend to give you lecture for the whole semester of what you learn in the programming class. This one is actually just to enhance more practical things that you should do when you develop your program for your project, particularly for your project. All right. I hope that you all of you actually are familiar with MATLAB. At this state, I think all of you should familiar with MATLAB lah. All right. Okay, before we go for the coding or the programming, first I want to give you a I don't give a slideshow because after this I want to open alternately with the MATLAB. So I just use this layout. All right. So how to getting started in MATLAB? I just want to give you a help if you have problem in MATLAB. So whenever you have problem, actually in MATLAB there is a help button here which you can go and then find all the information regarding the programming. So let's show you. All right, so this is the home button, and then you go for the help menu. You go for the documentation, and here will appear all the help from the based on the category. So for the beginner, you go for the MATLAB and getting started. So all these you can see here: getting started, language fundamental, data import and analysis. This one I will go through today as well for your project especially. So let's go for the getting started. And then you will see there are several tutorials also provided for you to do the matrices, array, workspace variables, and all this plot, script, function file, script file. You can go to this help menu. And then the second one is data import and export. So I think in the programming class we don't highlight this on the data import. But actually for your project, you really need to know how to do data import and analysis because you work with a large file of the database, and then you have a multi level of data. So you record your data in Excel. So what I'm going to show you for today is actually on the data import and export. You can import from the text file, spreadsheets, and other files format. You can work on the different type of format, but of course not in this class. In this short course is for I just focus on spreadsheet, but you can import data from images, scientific data, audio for those who are working with the sound system. So video you can also import and export, as well as XML documents. So, but today we just focus on the spreadsheets because that's the most frequent format that people save their data in Excel. So that's actually how you can get help. So not only rely on your lecturer. Whenever you have problem, you can go for this help menu in the MATLAB and then search. The second method is actually you can always ask from the command window. For example, you want to get help from, for example, about help on the, for example, I just give help on the table to construct table. So you just type and then you enter, and then you can read what's supposed to be done if you want to construct table. So it's given information here, table explanation, and then it's give you links how to create the tables, and then how to several methods to construct a table here, how to read table, what's the size, and all this you can read in order to help you. Or for example, help in order for you to display your output. So for example, help DISP. So it gives you how to display the array. So help so that you can see what's the format of writing in the command window. It also suggests to you a different type of a display. If you use fprintf, sprintf, this one is integer to string, number to string, and then so forth. So you can always click and then check on the help from the command window or help on the this help button. So that's actually your lifeline. If you have problems other than these two also you can go for the, of course, the easiest way is go for the YouTube. You can always watch for simple coding in the YouTube. All right. So just give you a help in case you have problem. All right. When working in MATLAB, I like to work in the default setting of MATLAB um, screen like this. So this is I call as default setting. When people working with the MATLAB environment, sometimes they just have the command window. Sometimes they don't have the current folder. This is current folder. This is the workspace. This is editor window. The best way to work is actually this is the default setting. So you have very important for you to have the current folder. This one is not important. And then workspace here. And then you have the command window at the bottom here. And then the editor window at the top. So this is the best layout when you work with MATLAB, because every time you do, all these are connected. The workspace connected to the current folder, command window, all these are connected. So how to get this in case you are actually don't have this? You go for the home layout and then you set for the default. So this is the default layout. If you have a different layout before, it will turn to this setting. So go for the home layout and then default setting. For me, this one is the best way to work with MATLAB. All right, another tips. Okay, this one I share with my student in class. Another tips for you. So always use the semicolon at the end of the command so that the output of the command will not display. Otherwise, it's quite annoying to see all those unrelated results in the command window. You just remove the semicolon if you need to see the results. Otherwise, just put the semicolon. And then the second tips is actually you have the percentage. The percentage, this one is when you write in the MATLAB, you will see in the, this one is only in the editor window, not in the command window, that the symbol, this one. Professional program, they always have comment. It's indicate as, percentage indicate as comment. So it's normally is explained to the user who actually read your program. It can give the information to reader. It can also give information for you who develop the program. You actually can later on, maybe when you develop the program, you remember, okay, this is the input for temperature. This is input for pressure. But maybe after 10 days or 10 months, you already forgot what actually you indicate you want to calculate. So this comment is actually help user to understand or read the information that this command will not execute as a MATLAB command. So it's just a indication or information. So that's really important. Always have this command in your coding. And this one is CLC and clear all. I always use this at the beginning of the program because I don't want to have a previous calculated value is actually disturb my program. So this is a CLC command to clear the command window. So when you start the program, it's always start with a new, fresh command window. And clear all command is actually to clear the workspace data. This one is important because if you use the same variable in the previous program, with the current program, the previous value will disturb your current program. So that's why I always have these two, CLC and clear all command at the beginning of my program. And this also I would like to share with you, handy MATLAB shortcut. This one I share with my class as well. When we write the programming, we always sometimes need a shortcut. So using the keyboard. So comment is actually the with something with the percentage before. So this is command. And when you have a line of the command that you don't want to be execute, you can select all using select all, and then you can control R to make as command. And later on, if you want to enable this as a MATLAB command, you just select all and control T. This one is really, really useful if you have a very long programming and then you do the command and uncomment frequently. And this is for Mac. I use Windows, so I never try for the Mac. So hopefully this one I just found. I just use Control R and Control T, and then this is for Mac user. And the second one here, Control C. Okay, this one is normally really useful when you run a program that's involve a loop for n or while n. That's your program didn't stop. It's keep running without stopping. Basically, if you sometimes if you don't know, you just cannot do anything about that, and then you might be just turn off or shut down your MATLAB. But you can use by Control C to actually terminate a running program. So how to know that the program running? At the bottom, normally in the MATLAB, you will see the normally is somewhere around here, busy. It's mentioned that it is busy doing programming for you, doing the looping for you. Because sometimes when you do the programming that's involved looping, if you don't really find a stopping criteria, it will keep running. So that's actually, this one is really, really important. And then the third one is always, I use this. This one is all actually the shortcut I always use when I did the programming. So Control I is actually for the auto indent. When you create programming, for example, you have a several loop for, and then you have if, else, if, and then you have statement here. Sometimes it is actually it's not in the nice order. Sometimes you put if here and then else if, but in MATLAB they have a very specific when you have to have the indent. So it's a nice order. So you can select everything and then Control I. It will give you a very nice looking program for you. So, all right, I will show you a few programs that I already create here. Just in case, just want to show for you a few shortcuts that I share. Okay, for example, I create the program. When I create program, you just write whatever you like. So it is not a nice looking. So maybe like this, and then you want to make it nice. So you just select all. And then Control I, it will automatically for you to arrange in a nice order. So this is while, and then you can see after that is some indent, and then switch some indent. By this way, it is actually, you can see a clear structure of your programming. You can see a case is actually aligned with another case. So it is all aligned. You can see clearly the coding. So the Control select all and then Control I. For the comment or uncomment, you can select, for example, you can select all and then Control R. So this will turn into green. That means it's become the comment. So when you execute, this part will be not executed. And if you want to make it enable, just select and Control T, and then you can go for the next run of the program. For the Control C, when you execute your program, you will see here will show you busy. Here at the bottom here, they will status busy. So that means it's keep running. So you can put the cursor at the command window and then Control C. So it will stop, and then you will see the prompt here appear. This is a prompt appear, and then that means the program has been terminated. Otherwise, there is no prompt. That's just a cursor keep blinking there. So, or you can see a few results appear very fast in the command window. So that means your program is actually running. All right. Hopefully that's give you some good start on the programming. We not start yet, but just a few tips. Okay, we go for the how to insert input data in your MATLAB program. For my class, I touched this a bit, but they did by themselves. All right, for first one, you can key in data directly in script file or command window. This one is common. You did in your class. You key in data, for example, you have data of A in a vector. So you just key in A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so on. And you can also key in the command window. But that's actually for the simple problem you can do that. However, if you working for a program, normally our data is not easy to key in. We need to have a proper way, which is here I use the bulk. We can import bulk data from spreadsheet, which is Excel. So this is example the coding. You can extract from the Excel. This is the name of Excel. This is the name of sheet, and then this is which particular column and row over column that you want to call for that particular variable. So this example, the same example, and the third one here is actually if you want to extract all data. You want to extract all data, numeric data, text data, and then you save as raw data. So you just read everything in the Excel without specify sheet or the which row or column that you want to extract. I have been tested for this one. For this one, is actually just a read for the first sheet only. So I think if you want to read for the second, if you have a few Excel sheet, so you need to specify which sheet that you're referring to. So this is example. I have example. I already saved my Excel as a process data. I have two sheet, base and additive. So we will see in the MATLAB after this. And then the third one, I sometimes use import data, because import data will import everything you have in the Excel, all the sheet 1 until n number of sheet. If you have the data inside the Excel, as it will extract also the data in numeric data as well as text data. So let's see on the MATLAB. So I have here. All right. So I have the Excel. Okay, this is my Excel. First thing I show you the Excel. So I save the data. For example, this is my data. I have the chemical names here. I have the numeric values here. Numerical. This one I have the text data. So I have a sheet 1 base. Sheet 2 is additive. So this is all data that I have. So for your case, also you have a few sheets for the products database. And okay, this one. So I want to extract, for example, I just want to extract from this for the molecular weight only. So, all right, so I go for the editor. Is it the size font is clear for you? Let me try to make it bigger. So hopefully this one is bigger.
Clear, Dr. Ala? You can see it.
Yeah, okay. So first thing, before you extract the Excel into the MATLAB, you have to make sure that you are open the current folder with the Excel. So you can see your Excel in the current folder. So that's why I said that it is very important for you to see the current folder, the workspace, and then the command window. These 4 windows are very important. So before you read, you must have this. All right. So All right, so I go for the first one here. I want to read the molecular weight MW in the Excel with the base and then within this range. So I open my Excel. So this is the process data name Excel, and then the sheet name is base, and then this range I want to read from F2 until F7. So you have to specify F2 until F7, and then I remove the semicolon, and then I execute. See, it is busy now, so it's working here, and then now it's actually extract the data for the molecular weight. Since I remove the semicolon here, it will show in the command window. So double click on the molecular weight, and then you will see this is your data that you already extracted. Double check with the Excel. So yes, it is correct. It's extract the correct numbers in the Excel. So this for the first one, and then you can continue for the other properties that you want to, other numbers that you want to extract. Let's say you want to extract a text data as well. So this one is work only for the numerical data. So you can use this format if you want to extract the numerical, the text data. So I will run this section. By the way, I use the section because I want to show this one. I didn't tick the run button here. All right, so now when I run for this one, now I have the raw data. So this is the raw data in the workspace. I double click the raw data. Now I can see the data of chemical name and all those header. I have the header. I have also the numeric data here. So this one you need to extract the values in order to use the data. How to extract? So you cannot use directly whatever you import from that. So from raw data, so you click raw data, and then you have the, if you want to read for the molecular weight, you need to read raw data from row 2 until row 7 column 6. So you need to extract molecular weight, for example, raw data, and from you remember how to write the array and column array or matrix. You must have row, comma, column. So that's the format. So you want to read from row 2 until 7. Row 2 until 7, and then column 6. So that's you column 6. So that's your data on molecular weight. So I give molecular weight 2 because I already have molecular weight 1. So I try to run for this one. All right, so this is given to you data in cell because we extract data before as cell. So before you use the cell, you need to convert the data into data molecular weight 2 str to num. All right, for this one, this is a cell. Normally I use string. Okay, for this one it won't work. Sorry. From the cell, we need to convert the data into number data. So this one I didn't find the ways to convert it. So later I will come and then check on this one, because normally I just use data from Excel read, or I import the data using the raw import data. So this one I leave it first. So this, if you want to import this one, if you want to import data, all the data from Excel, so you can read you can import. And all right, so it's done. So this is, I can see that actually I assigned the data to raw. So you can see the raw data. You click the raw data here, and then you can see this is, you have a different text data. So when you click data, you can see both type of, both Excel sheet, base and additive, has been extracted, base additive. So you can see in the base, and then you can see that when it's extract for the base, so you can see that the text data will given as none, not a number, and for the numeric data, it will give you the value. So this for the raw data and under base. If you go for the additives, it will give you all the data that's available in the Excel. So this one I would encourage you, if you want to import data, use this coding to import the data, because it's just one command. Actually, you can import everything in Excel, whatever you have. So even though you, for example, you extend your data. For example, I extend my data here. After I extend, you increase your database, it will also capture when you do the import. But you need to execute again in order to import the new data. So that's why I always use the import data. I rarely use this one, because sometimes my Excel changing. For example, today I just have 6. Maybe tomorrow I have 10, for example. Maybe the next 2 weeks I have 20. So if I have that, I need to always change this value. So always changing. So that means it's the best way is actually using import data. From import data, you can extract the. This one will be convenience, because it is import as number. So for example, in the raw data base, you want to read data for the molecular weight, which is this one. You just go for the column number 6, molecular weight, raw dot data. How to use this, how to call this is actually you go for the variable, you see the name at the top, raw dot data dot base. So you call for raw dot data dot base, and then all in the row, and then column 6. So this one will be more convenient. So I will execute this at the bottom. So you can see the results of the molecular weight too. Now it is similar to the Excel here. This is the Excel. This one I just added just now. So delete. So from 58 until 92. And if you want to read others, you just read the rest of the data by using this one, raw data base. If you need to go for the additives, you just raw.data.additives, and then you read, for example, data 2, raw.data.additives. And then you just call which row or column that you want to read. Normally, if you want to read just one, row number 1. Normally, we want to read everything. So everything, and then maybe just row number, column number 7. So all rows, column number 7. So you have to go and then specifically identify what is data that you want to extract here. Okay, so there is no S. So this is the data that you actually recall for the data too. So when you extract this data, you can actually call and then use in the next programming. you can use for the whatever equation that you want to. For example, this one. Once I extract the data, I want to use for the calculation, for example. So I give you another coding at the bottom here. Okay, let's say don't clear. All right, so let's say I want to select item number. For example, this is my data. I want to select molecular weight for number 1, 4, and then 6, for example. So I run this one, and then I want to have the 1, 4, and 6, and then so here it will show me the molecular weight for item number 1, number 4, and number 6, which is, let me check. Molecular weight for number 6 is 92.14. Item number 4 is 70. And then item number 1 is 58. So you can use, this is raw data, N, which is the molecular weight. Here I use, and then I can call a very specific chemicals, 146, and then it will show me the molecular weight for respective chemicals that I choose here, 146. So that's on the input data. Any question before I go for the structure? So that's on the input. If not, I continue. I think after this you can go for the recording, and if you have any questions, of course, you can ask end of the session. All right. The second things that I want you to highlight for you is actually about the structure, algorithm, and flowchart. So it is very important at the beginning when you want to design a program, when you want to develop a program, you need to understand the structure, or you need to draw a structure of your program, or in other words, we call as flowchart. So algorithm, sometimes I use, sometimes I didn't use, but I always prefer to have a flowchart, because this flowchart will actually guide you. And instead of when you have the problems, you straight away jump to the programming, so you will be in trouble. You cannot troubleshoot your program later on. So for me, when you have a problem, you always go and then draft your flowchart. Or normally in my class, I ask students to come up with this structure first. Quick way, what will be the input in the programming? What are the output actually you want to show or you want to display? What are the calculations involved? Is it they have decision or loops? If yes, and then you have to specify in this box. This one I make it a proper way. So you have box here. This is actually my own structure. I developed this one. I always ask my student to check what are the input need, what are the outputs actually need to be displayed, what's the calculation involved. So let's check one case or one problem here. All right. So this one is to calculate the area for the cases below. So I have the case for the rectangular, I have the circle. So other than this case, return error message. So let's say I ask you to develop a program. If user give wrong input, you can ask user to re-enter the input. Let's say other than these two, it's give the error message. If a normal program, after error message, it will terminate. But if we want to develop a user-friendly program, normally we can ask user to re-enter the inputs. That's the first case. The second case, let's say I want to allow user, after they calculate for the area, is it the user want to calculate for other cases? Maybe for the circle, or maybe for the other rectangular with the different length on width, or circle with a different R values. So this is one program, this is another program. So the structure will depends on how you want to see your programs. So let's try here. All right, for the input, okay, normally I go for the calculation first because calculation is obvious. You have the area for the rectangular equal to length time, and then area for the circle equal to pi r square. From this, you can identify, all right, I need the input of L, W, and then R. So for different case, so this one is for the rectangular, this one is for the circle. For the output, of course, in the question is not mentioned. Of course, you want to know the area output. Decision. What's the decision involved here? You have two cases. So you have rectangular. You have the circle decision. So normally, if this type of decision, we will go for the switch case. So that's for this type of decision, we go for the switch case. If the decision in terms of number, if area less than, if the length less than 10, we use rectangular. If R less than 20, we use R. So that's we go for the if-else structures. Therefore, you need to know what type of the decision that's suitable to be used for your problem. In this case, we have rectangular and then we have circle. All right, how about loops? For the first problem here, we need to ask user to re-enter the input. That means it must have loop. So you just have two type of loops, either for n or while n. So it is obvious for n is not suitable. So in this case, we will use while. We can use while true. So you can execute the command. So this will be generically the structure. So let's go to the program. All right. So for the first one, all right. So I run this one. I run first to. You see, my program is always at the beginning. I have the clear all CLC so that it will remove all the previous one. Okay, select case. Let's say I choose the wrong one. It's mentioned that input error. Please give a new input. I select circle. Set the D value. Just give any values, and then the area of circle is 3632 square meter, and then it's mentioned that program terminated. So let's try again. Rectangular, and then it's straightforward. Give me the ask to give input, and then it is terminated. So this is how the program works. If give a correct input, it will straightforward calculate and then terminate the program. If give the wrong input, it will ask user to go and then give another input. So how the program looks like? All right, in this case, actually, I add a while true, the condition while true. Otherwise, if the common program, let's remove this first. This is the common program. Okay, let's try for this first. The common program that normally goes straight for the switch case. Let's try this. And then select case. Let's say I give you a wrong input, and then it say input error. So it's just go termination without asking the user to give a new input. Terminate. No more chance. Finish. But we don't want that in our programming, so we enable the while. And then this one is control. And what I did is actually I add this one, while. And then this is the case ID. Select the case ID, and then it will select the reflex rectangular or circle. And then at the bottom, I have these things that to give a break. Break, this is necessary. Otherwise, it keep looping without stop. Let's say I disable this one. Okay, let's try. Circle. And then ask another select case again. and then ask again without stopping. You see, without any and then I couldn't keep asking, and then you can see here is waiting for input. Waiting for input, that means you cannot stop this program. You cannot start a new program. If you go for the new program, you run here, you won't get the answer. So that's normally happen to student when they didn't finish one program, they go for another program run, and then they claim, I couldn't get the answer. Why? Yes, why? Because you don't finish the first program and then you go for the another program. So what you have to do here, you already learned today, Control C. You see, operation terminated by user. And then if you put a prompt appear, that means it is terminated. And then you will be safe. All right, so enable back this one, Control T. And then, so that's why I need to have break. So what I did is actually, I just add one more command here, I equal to 0 initial, and then here I repeat, indicates the repetition. Now I equal to 1. If 1, done the calculation, and then if I greater than 1, it will must break. So you see the I value is here actually 3. So if actually 2, it will break, and then it will terminate the program. So it will terminate all this, and then it will print program terminated. So that's actually the program I developed. The program is, there's no one single answer for your program. You can create a different style here. I believe that other students sometimes you have a better imagination. You can work on the different style. You can have a different style in order to break the program. So that's I just show you a simple here, adding the iteration here, and then it will help on the termination here. So that's on the first program. How actually I repeat, if you have the error, repeat. But sometimes it's not necessary on I. Sometimes they use a criteria, certain criteria they put is still, if still 1, and it still keep going on the while. So this is one example. Okay, all right. Move on to the second question. Ask user if they want to calculate for other case. So that means you need to repeat here, even though a wrong answer, or after you've done on the first case, ask user, do you want to repeat? And then if user say yes, and then you have to repeat. So how it look like? So this is my second program. Run. Select case, for example, I select circle 3.4, and then the area, and then ask, do you need to repeat? If I say yes, and then it asks for the next case. Rectangular, 4, 5, and then another again ask. If I said no, so it will say that program terminated. So finish. So this actually how you want to see your programs work. So you have to think how to do the looping here. So what I did for this type of program, so I put while n is a number of n is actually answer, is it yes or no? While n is yes, it is always true. So I give indication here, it is always true. While n loop working if this condition true. So as long as you answer yes, it will keep looping for you. And if n answer is no, and then it will terminate. So that's the only things that I add here. While n equal to yes, and then this is I add the user. When I ask the user, do you need to repeat? So the answer is I give as n, and then n value will be substitute here. So that's just I add in the program from the previous one. All right, so this one. Okay, by the way, I want to share one thing is that when you do the coding for your program, for example, I copy this one. All right, when you want to do the code, let's say I start from the beginning. So while true and then switch, for example, here you give the input equal to input, select case, case number, and then case and all right. So this is the common. You can see the structure. Why it will end here, and then you will see the red button here. That means it's a warning, and then this error, something error here. So that means if you run this one, obviously you will get error. So you have to make sure there is no red line here. It must be turned into green. So that's one thing. So let's say I don't want to have this one. Okay, case 1, for example. I have case 1. I have case 2, let's say. So in the case 1, I just want to display A, for example, 23. Display A, and then, all right, when you did the programming, you must always make sure your first testing here must be correct first before you go for the next programming. You don't do all the programming here and then at the end of the day, actually, your program didn't work at the beginning of the programming. So it's quite wasting of time. So whatever you did is actually, you just make it comment here first or you just leave it empty first. So you test your earlier programming, test step by step. Step by step. You don't do the programming everything from 1 until 120 coding and then you run one time. So that's, you will be in trouble. So run level by level. So for example, I create the program here. All right, so I want to test for the case 1 first. So when I have this one, I always did this and then I run for the section and then select case 1. And then, oh, okay, so it's actually, see, this one is actually happened because I use while. So it's always true and then it just keep busy and then it didn't stop. So what you have to do is Control C. Don't panic. All right, so this one, if you don't have termination criteria, so that's what will be happen. So whenever you run this, select case 1. So case number 1 and then display the A value. Run, so select case 1 and then just display 23. So that means everything was correct here and then you can move on to another level of coding. So always stage by stage. So here maybe you want to calculate for B equal to, and then you want to display B after you make sure that the second level is correct and then you can add on to the next level of the program. Go and then check for the second level. All right, so it's working correctly for the second, and then you know that the green button here is green, no warning. But if you just have orange color, that means okay, no problem. So orange color is just a warning. So it said that, okay, you should put the semicolon here. So, and then it's turned into green. Orange should be no worry, but red, you have to worry because red, that means error. So if you don't, because when you have the whole program and then you want to rectify error, you will get headache because you don't know where to start. So normally the MATLAB will run line by line. So it will go from the line 1 until it reach, okay, line 9 have problem here. So it will stop. And sometimes it gives you indication, okay, there is error in line number 9. So make appropriate action, for example. So let's say I try to here. So it's waiting for input. And then, okay. So if I give wrong and then value, it will not terminate it until I give a select the case number, right? Case number. So that's another tips I want to share with you on the programming. All right. For the last things I want to share is how to display output. So this one is actually common in your class. You learn this in your class. There is nothing special about display output. You can use DISP or fprintf or sprintf if you want to display on the text. You can combine text in the DISP. You can combine text in fprintf. But I want to highlight here is actually make sure your output is easy to see, easy to read the results, and people can by one glance they can know that your results appear nicely. They can read the answer. So I don't have a nice demo here for the presentation of the results. Oh, okay, by the way, I have another this demo here I want to share with you. Okay, let me show for this one. All right, so when I click this one, it's a menu appear at the top of here. You can choose the products here. So let's say I choose bread. So and then it asks me to give enter mass. Let's say I enter a 2.3 kilogram, the mass unit, and then it calculate for me total carbon footprint is equal to 23 kilogram COE. CO equivalence. So that's actually I just tried my own program for you. So by just doing this simple programming, you can have a very interactive, right? Very interactive input, and then the final output is actually I display in the message box. So again, I try. Let's say I choose egg. So here it's asked me to enter mass for that particular selection. So I enter 2.8, and then this is the total carbon footprint. So that's so here actually I just to choose the menu, and then I just give the type of the menu, and then I ask for the enter mass. And then I have here is actually to give input, and then this is the answer for the input for the mass input. So this is the coding when I have the box to give the mass. I can share this coding with you, the demo things, and then so that you can refer later on. And this is the mass. I change for the stream to number of answer here. You give answer when you give the values, and then from that I read the data of the carbon footprint. This one you can insert. This one I just declare the values, 10 to just any values. But if you can read from the SI, just read from the SI. And then if the first choice is bread, so it will calculate the equation here. And then this is the equation to calculate the carbon footprint. And then the total is actually here I display in the message box, and then this is the coding to display the value. So this one can be done, but it's depend on the type of the outputs that you want. If just one simple like this possible, you can do it. If you have a few things, and then maybe from here you can extend further. A simple coding. I just only have 18 simple coding. From here, you maybe go just search your own. How to extend the message board can be a very nice box. Have everything that you decide. For now, I just choose one product. If you have many products, what you should do, you can extend, grow from this coding. But don't worry. If you don't have this type of output, don't worry. Command window should be sufficient enough to give us the the nice output results. Let me try to find another. I want to show you on the example of the results. No, this one is not. So, okay, let's try for this one. Choose one of the case. Let's say ground, and then insert weight package. Let's say I put as 4.5, and then you see, I write a nice coding here to see that, okay, this is a selected service, ground, the total weight, and then the total cost. So this like a receipt when you buy something, and then you can see, wow, this is in a nice form of the output results. So you can create using the command window. You can always be creative. You can create a very nice output. This is all the things that I use to display the results. You can always be creative in order to prove that when you want to develop a program, this is my program. So you can give a personal touch on your program. And then actually at the beginning, you can put the comment, this program is developed by, give your name, put a name, and then put a date so that everyone will appreciate. Okay, every time, for example, I use your coding to my next class. Okay, this is program developed by team Pang team, so that your name is there, and then you will be proud of your program. So always put the personal touch on your program. All right, I think it's almost 3. Hopefully, I don't talk too fast. I think that's all that I want to share with you on the overall programming. Any
Alright.
question? Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dr. Alafiza, for your great presentations. Okay, so now let's move on to question and answer sessions. Okay, looks like we don't have any question in the chat box.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, we do have one. Okay, Dr. Ala, can we produce output in the form of table? It's a question from Sarvin.
Okay, Sarvin, good question. Actually, is how you want to display the output is depends on your creativity. It depends on the question. It depends on the what you want to show for the user. If user, you can display everything in table, and then go ahead using table only. If you want to have a nice word, and then like in the just command window, you can use command window. It depends on your creativity.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Ala. Thank you, Sarvin, your questions. Okay, we do have another question from Vanessa. Doctor, may I know how to open the Excel file in MATLAB?
How to open?
Yeah, how
You
to
don't
open?
you don't have to open, you just recall.
Recall. Okay.
Yeah, recall the MATLAB just by write the Excel read. Sorry, this one. This is the actually you just read the data in Excel. You don't have to open.
Okay.
You don't have to open MATLAB in the Excel. Sorry, you don't have to open Excel in MATLAB. You just actually read data from Excel into MATLAB. This is the command here, Excel read. But there is other things that you can use for Excel. You can write Excel write. Whatever you calculate here, for example, you calculate the for example, data 2, you want to write back into the Excel, you can use Excel write. XLS, XL, okay. XLS, Excel write. This, if you want to export, this one is actually to for your output. You want to write whatever in the MATLAB into the Excel. However, I didn't suggest you to do this because it takes time. for the MATLAB to write whatever the result into the Excel. And there is a consequences as well. If you open your Excel here, you cannot write in the Excel. You have to close first and then make the MATLAB adjust or change your Excel. Hopefully it's answer your question. Normally we don't open, but if you want to open, you just double click here. You can actually see on this. Okay, it's hang. All right. So it's actually you double click on the Excel here, so you can go for the. All right. So it's not open. I already closed. But actually, the answer is no need. No need to open.
Okay. Next question, Dr. Ala. Can we put values in the table as a record?
Value in the table. What does it mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Ahmad Rushaidi can turn on your mic to speak and ask questions. Yeah, that's good. Ahmad?
I wanted to know if like we can make our own table in the MATLAB and then we put value in it, like to record the value in the table.
Yes, of course. You can always when you, but it must be depends on the. For example, you have the. For example, this is MW. From MW, you can create table from MW, and then you can put whatever you want in the table. MW data 2 or TC. You can put whatever you want in the table. Let me show you on the help table. So this is table. This is the format of type of table. You can type table and then variable 1, variable 2, and all the variables that you want to display in table. But the first you have to make sure that your variable in table must have the same size in terms of the row and column. So if 2 times 2, everything must be 2 times 2. Sorry, for the variable one, it must be in a vector. If 2 times 1, all must be 2 times 1. Otherwise, it won't be. It will be error. The same size.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Next question, Dr. Ala, is from Log Garage. Doctor, is fopen command used to only print output in it, or also can use to import
Okay,
file?
Fopen is normally we use the open for the text file. Open text file. So this one actually I don't cover today. This open file, text file, you can have in the your class, your programming class. You learn on how to open the text file, and then you read from text file. And after that, you write on the text file and then you close. We have F open, F close. And normally this one I use for the text file only. Only print output in it, or also can use to import file. Import file and write the answer, and then sorry. You can do both. You can do both. If you open, you can read and then you can write as well. It depends on the function. If you write F open and then read the command as R, read, you just read. But if you want to write the output, you write as W. So you can write whatever the output.
Okay. All right. Okay. Next questions. Can we make, this is from Dr. Zaki, can we make
Dr. Zaki.
the input and output of MATLAB using Android app?
All right, Dr. Zaki, this is actually a quite challenging question. All right, guys. If okay, we have one tab here. You can see here is actually apps. MATLAB have their own apps for you to design your program so that you can embed in the apps. So, for example, I open the design apps here, but this one is actually we don't cover in the class because for this semester, maybe perhaps next semester we have to think about this. So this is actually the apps that they can develop using the apps designer in MATLAB. Actually, I try to look on this as well.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, of course, we don't have much time for this
Okay.
semester.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
but it can be done maybe in the next class.
Next class. Okay. Okay, Dr. Ala. All right. Thank you, Dr. Zaki, for your questions. Okay. Next, from Sulaiman. Which display command do you suggest? Display, DISP, or fprintf for this program?
All right,
Display command.
Sulaiman.
Yeah.
Sulaiman, that's a good things you want to confirm. All right. Personally, I like to use fprintf if I have data, especially on the numeric values that I want to print that very specific number. For example, 2 decimal point, 4 decimal points. I will use fprintf because the DISP command is actually just display for you the default a 4 decimal point. So for example, for this one, I use mix. If I want to display the simple things, I use DISP. Don't bother to use fprintf. Fprintf I use because of I want to display the text. Which one is convenient for you? But this one I really want to print 2 decimal points. So that's why I use fprintf. And then if I don't have this constraint, I use DISP. Easy, because it is easy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sulaiman. Okay, for your questions. Okay, next question is from Aiman. Okay, doctor, may I know how to test some codes in my program separately?
All right, Aiman, good. So actually, you can see I done this in my programming just now. If you see, this is my command. I have the yellow color, right? If I remove this, I have let's say remove this. I have all white. So normally I use section. All right, so if I just want to run this from here to here, I put a double percentage, so it gives you section. So the first section I run is just the first section. It won't go for the second section here. So you can always break into section by section as per this one. Okay, so if you just want to do the simple here, I separate by double percentage. So go for this one. After this one, do this one again, and then always have this one to separate. So you can run a very specific one line of command. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Ala. All right, next questions. From Muhammad Barakat, Doctor, is there a way to make a program with a 33 input accept positive input only?
Apa maksud dia?
Input only.
Maksud dia to make a program with 33 inputs.
But they want to
accept
positive input only. Maybe Muhammad Barakat, could you please turn on your mic to speak and ask question directly to Dr. Alafiza? Muhammad?
Is doctor?
Yes, Muhammad.
I mean, like the whole program will accept only positive inputs.
Positive inputs. Okay, actually that one you need to do one more step. Is actually on the data analyzing, which you need to make sure that, or okay, let me ask you again. Is it 33 inputs will be key in simultaneously or one by one?
I mean, all of them. Any input.
Any inputs? Is it simultaneously? You give all 33 inputs or
No,
one by one? One by one. And then you can put the constraint like the value must be greater than 0. If the inputs greater than 0, and then that's actually you can write it. But there is actually a simple way. You can you can give like a structured programming. You want to just screening on the positive inputs only, but this one is normally done for the bulk inputs. For example, you inputs on the same time, and then from that 33 elements, you can screen out the negative one, just take the positive one. That can be done.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Dr. Ala, I think this is the last questions. Can I know some tips on how to create program as a team? I think this is a very good question. Yeah, it's a very good question.
Alright. Yeah, because I know
Okay,
because you're working separately at
yes.
home individually, so it's quite a challenging task for you.
Uh,
So for this case, I would suggest you if you go to your that's why I said that you need to have the structure. All right. This from the structure of the program, flowchart. You have flowchart, so you can say that okay, for this part of one loop, this person do it. For example, you have a different type of products, right? You have on the food, you have on the
household
for example,
items, household
household
items.
items.
Yes.
Yeah. So that maybe one person working on the food
Yeah.
related products, you make on the one for the food you can make one program, and then you can also apply function, because one
Okay.
program you can create under function file.
Mm-hmm.
And then one person may be working as the whole structure. For example, you have the structure for this is always I encourage students to use the um, okay, this is your okay, this is your main file, your script file. So in script file, you can have a very small coding. Here you can sub to function. You learn in your class how to create a function file. So this one maybe for food.
Okay.
All right. So you calculate function and then you return only CF for food, for example. So this is a return output. You return to the main here. The main, this one I call as main file. And then this one is maybe another thing that you calculate here for the household items. And then you sub to the function. So another guy is working on the function file for the household items. And then you just return on the CF on the household. And then, so here you can collect CF for the part 1, CF for part 2, and then you can combine total CF, and then you can display your result in the main function file here. So that's actually the best way you can work. You can have several function files. Actually, in the programming class, we're going to evaluate you. Either you apply both a script file and function file or not. So it's supposed to you apply this. So
Okay.
that's easy way lah for me.
All right. Thank you. So, thank you, Dr. Ala. Thank you, Dr. Ala. Okay, good
All
one.
right.
All right. Okay. So looks like we answered all the questions. Okay. Now is 3:20. Okay. So I think we have to end our seminar. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ala, for the great presentation and interesting discussions. Okay. So this conclude the seminar. All right. Thank you
Okay,
everyone
thank
for
you very
joining
much.
us. Okay. And have a great
All right.
day. See you next week.
Thank you
Yeah.
very
Okay.
much, Dr. Allah.
See
Thank
you next
you.
week. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much, Dr. Ala.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.